We have an insane report. With Leon Rose, you never know what's going to happen next. The Knicks are currently looking for their next head coach. But instead of New York looking at the candidates that are available, they are pushing to steal another franchise's head coach. Leon Rose wants Ime Udoka or Jason Kidd to be the Knicks' next head coach. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. But before we get started, about 52% of you watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're enjoying the content, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button because it could really support all the great content that we're creating for you. And now, let's get started. The Knicks are looking to steal a head coach. The Knicks stunned the NBA world yesterday by firing head coach Tom Thibodeau. And the main reason they fired Tom Thibodeau was because they wanted a new voice in the locker room to lead this Knicks team into the future. But the Knicks don't want just any new voice. They want a head coach that they believed in for years to take over, even if that head coach is not actively available. Shout out to NBA Central on the app X for giving us this following information here. According to them, the Knicks are expected to show interest in Ime Udoka and Jason Kidd, while Johnnie, Bryant, and Jay Wright are considered the presumed candidates for the Knicks' next head coach. According to the Steinline, they state the following about the Knicks and their search for their next head coach. When it comes to available coaches, longtime Villanova coach Jay Wright, who has long expressed a reluctance to make the leap to the NBA, and Cleveland Cavaliers assistant Johnnie Bryant quickly emerged as presumed likely candidates for the Knicks head coaching job. Two head coaches who are not currently available, but said to interest the Knicks and Leon Rose, at least according to league sources, is Dallas Mavericks coach Jason Kidd and Houston Rockets coach Ime Udoka. However, Mark Stein continues here by stating, in order for the Knicks to talk to Jason Kidd or Ime Udoka, at least according to league sources, the Knicks would have to seek permission in order to do that. And if they did ask for permission, it's likely they would be rejected by the Rockets and by the Mavericks. It doesn't seem like either franchise is willing at this point in time to part with their head coach. I wanted to look into this a little bit further just to see if I can find any more details on the Knicks and them looking into Ime Udoka and Jason Kidd. And I'm so happy I did that because I got some more information from SNY NBA insider Ian Begley on this situation. Shout out to Begley for giving us this following information here. According to him, he stated that Ime Udoka and Jason Kidd are two coaches who are said to intrigue the Knicks. Udoka is a name that I've heard as well. To hire Udoka, the Knicks would have to get permission from the Houston Rockets and give the Rockets compensation to let Udoka out of his deal. I can't see Dallas even entertaining the idea of letting Kidd go. Knicks executive Gerson Rosas hired Chris Finch in Minnesota, but the Timberwolves just reached consecutive Western Conference Finals under Finch. Why would they allow him to leave now? Leon Rose always does things we never expect. Instead of going into the pool of names available, he's going way outside the box, looking at names that you shouldn't be looking at. If history tells us anything, if Leon Rose wants something, he's likely going to get it. But in this case, in this scenario, it might be very difficult for him to do that because the Dallas Mavericks, the Houston Rockets, they don't want to let go of their head coaches. So there's no reason, there's no incentive for them to go ahead and let the Knicks interview either of these coaches. However, as Ian Begley stated there, the Knicks could create that incentive by offering a significant amount of money to either the Dallas Mavericks or the Houston Rockets to allow them to interview either of these head coaches and potentially steal them from those franchises. Now, do I think that's ultimately going to happen? I don't think so. Leon Rose wants everybody to believe this is the direction the Knicks are going into. But Leon Rose has a history of making everyone look here when really he's going in that direction. Leon Rose has done it with players, and I believe he's going to do it with coaches as well, too. Now, you might be thinking, why is Ime Udoka and Jason Kidd at the top of the wish list for the Knicks for their next head coach? You don't have to look back in Knicks history that long to understand why. If you go back to when the Knicks were making a decision on whether to hire Tom Thibodeau as their head coach, at that point in time, they had a list of potential names that they wanted to hire for their head coach. And on that list, at the time, was Jason Kidd and Ime Udoka. Let's take a look back in history here and take a look at that list. Shout out to New York Basketball on the app X for giving us this following information here. According to them, the purported list of coaches the Knicks interviewed in 2020, Tom Thibodeau, Jason Kidd, Kenny Atkinson, Mike Woodson, Ime Udoka, Mike Brown, Jamal Mosley, Will Hardy, Pat Delaney, Chris Fleming, Mike Miller. Thibs was the favorite and got the job. But Jason Kidd wowed the Knicks in his second interview. Clearly, Leon Rose and this Knicks front office have a plan for the head coach. Maybe they do want to steal another franchise's head coach. Maybe they're going to look at a couple of other names or some players that could be coaches that nobody is thinking about, nobody is considering. That would fit Leon Rose and how he's run this Knicks franchise ever since taking over as Knicks president. But one thing was made clear recently by Shams Charania of ESPN. Whoever the Knicks bring in to be the next head coach has to do something that Tom Thibodeau could not do during his time as head coach. And that's build the bench, get that depth where it needs to be, and connect with the bench. Shout out to Shams for giving us this following information. When he was on the Pat McAfee show, he said the following about the Knicks and what type of coach they might be looking for. According to him, a guy that might trust his bench more, a guy that might be a little bit more lenient based on his principles. And Kurt Halen, an NBA insider for NBC Sports, also agrees with Shams and reports the following based on what he's hearing from league sources. According to him, who are the Knicks going to hire as the new head coach that puts them over the top? They are reportedly looking for a coach more willing to trust his bench, which should involve offseason moves to upgrade that bench, making it more trustworthy. This is not shocking to me at all. The Knicks during the regular season didn't play the bench like they were supposed to. Then they started to do it during the postseason. But at that point in time, they did it too late. They should have done it earlier. Maybe if they did that, the bench would have been more impactful for the Knicks in the postseason. But now we really don't know. That's why it's not a surprise to hear that New York is looking for a head coach to come in that can not only connect with the starters, but can also connect with the bench players as well, too. We also have an update on the newest odds for who's going to be the Knicks' next head coach. And you're not going to believe who the number one candidate now is to be the next head coach. Shout out to Knicks Muse on the app X for giving us this following information here. As you can see here, the new odds suggest that Michael Malone at plus 125 now has the best odds to be the Knicks' next head coach. But NBA insider and Knicks insider with the New York Post, Steph Bondy, recently shut down reports that Michael Malone will be the Knicks' next head coach. According to Bondy, he states the following very bluntly and very directly. You can forget about Michael Malone as a replacement for Tom Thibodeau. That is not going to happen. The way he said that, how confident he was with tweeting that out, it makes me believe without a doubt that Michael Malone will not be the Knicks' next head coach. And maybe some of you are happy about that. Maybe some of you don't like that because maybe you are in support of Michael Malone coming here and being New York's next head coach. Obviously, A lot of people see the championship and they wonder, could he bring that championship culture to New York? Well, a lot of NBA insiders, not only Steph Bondy, even Ian Bagley with SNY, he reported that Michael Malone is not seen internally by the Knicks as a slam dunk hire. He is too similar to Tom Thibodeau. They want somebody new, a new voice. If you bring in somebody similar, that really defeats the purpose of firing Tom Thibodeau. You need somebody new. That's why when you go back to the list and you see who's after him to be the next head coach of the Knicks, you understand where everybody is leaning to here. Johnnie Bryant at plus 400 has the next best odds to be the Knicks head coach. And if it's not going to be Michael Malone, in my opinion, Johnnie Bryant deserves the nod. Everybody has asked me, recap, who do you want as the Knicks' next head coach? In my opinion, who the Knicks should hire. If it can't be Ime Udoka, if it can't be Eric Spoelstra, the person that I would want of available coaches that are actively available right now, it would be Johnnie Bryant. Because Johnnie Bryant has a history with New York. The Knicks were grooming him to be next after Tom Thibodeau. And if he was still with this organization, if he wasn't stolen by the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Knicks would likely make him head coach right now. They probably wouldn't wait. But because he's not with the Knicks, they have to go through a formal process to make sure they interview him and they can get him as the next head coach. But the problem lies here. He is very close in deep discussions right now to be the Phoenix Suns' next head coach. But with Leon Rose, anything can happen. And if he wants Johnnie Bryant, if he desperately wants Bryant to be the next head coach of this franchise, Leon Rose will do everything in his power to make that happen. A lot of times, people doubted the Knicks in terms of the trades they were going to make. They can't get OG. They're suing the Raptors. They can't get Mikal Bridges. He's with the Nets. They don't do business together. He makes the impossible happen. That's why I can't even cross out Jason Kidd or Ime Udoka. It seems unlikely, but unlikely doesn't mean impossible. If all the moves he's done got us here, then you have to think moving forward, any moves he makes will help the Knicks get over the hump and be that NBA Finals team that we should have been this year and potentially can still be next year. But what about you guys? What do you think about the Knicks showing interest in Ime Udoka, Jason Kidd, Johnnie Bryant, Jay Wright, and a few other candidates for their next head coach? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.